Today we will talk about the International Intellectual Property Index 2022, and this is recently released by the US Chamber of Commerce. So let's talk about the International Intellectual Property Index 2022. If you talk about why news, as I have already told you that Intellectual Property Index is an annual report. Remember that this is the keyword, annual report means yearly, and it was released by US Chambers of Commerce. So remember that, and compiled by the US Chambers of Commerce. So remember that. If you talk about the International Intellectual Property Index 2022, then remember that the first rank goes to the United States of America with the 95.4% intellectual property has been signed. So remember that. If you talk about India has improved its overall International Intellectual Property Index score. If you talk about from the 38.4% to 38.6%, around 0.2% has been increased in the overall performance of India in the Intellectual Property Index. If you talk about, and if you talk about India's ranks is the 43rd out of 55 countries, as you know very well. So remember that. If you talk about, this is the 8th edition. So remember that this is the 8th edition, and the index maps the intellectual property ecosystem in a 53 global economies representing 90% of the global GDP. So this is very important. Another important fact if you talk about. If you talk about in 2020, so this is the 2022 report, and if you talk about in 2020, US Chamber of Commerce titled this index as the art of the possible, basically to meet the circumstances which is prevailing in the 21st century and to meet the demand of 21st century. So remember that. Now we will talk about the indicators of the International Intellectual Property Index. So if you talk about the International Intellectual Property Index indicators, then remember that there is around the 50 indicators, and which includes actually the 9 categories of protection provided to the intellectual property in the various economies, or you can say in the various countries. So first, if you talk about the patents, means how many patents are filing in the industrial areas or in the various sector like medical sector, education sector. So how many patents is the first protection. And remember that another is the copyright. As you know, copyright is the main issue sometimes comes in the intellectual property right. So this is very important. Another is the trademark. Another is the design rights if you talk about. Another is the trade secrets if you talk about. Commercialization of the IP assets if you talk about. Enforcement and the systematic efficiency and membership and ratification of the international treaty. So obviously there is an international treaty in the World Trade Organization, and that's why India and South Africa actually want the some escape from the intellectual property due to COVID-19. So this is very important. So this is all about the International Intellectual Property Index 2020. And if you talk about the summary, then remember that US has topped this ranking, and this ranking is released by the US Chambers of Commerce. Remember that India has improved its overall performance from 38.4% to 38.6% if you talk about. And remember that India ranked if you talk about the 43rd, and these are the 9 categories of protection which includes copyright, the design rights, trademark, copyrights, etc. And if you talk about the trade secret, etc. are the kind of protection has been provided under the International Intellectual Property Index. So thank you guys, hope you like this video.